The man collapsed in silence. Hundreds of eyes turned away. His breath was shallow, his skin pale, his life slipping like sand through fingers, and still no one moved. Only one man noticed, a janitor with tired hands and a quiet gaze. The one man no one ever listened to until now. Before we start today's story, leave a comment below and let us know which city you're watching from. And at the end, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. He had been sweeping in the corner, ignored as always. The millionaire CEO was surrounded by assistants, bodyguards, and doctors on payroll. Yet it was the janitor, his uniform faded, his back bent with years of unseen labor, who saw the truth no one else dared to see. The room was heavy with tension, but the janitor's silence cut through it. His eyes locked on the struggling man. He had seen this before, in war, in loss, in faces he never forgot. The janitor's name was Elijah. Once he had worn a uniform of honor, not fabric stained with bleach. Years ago, he had served as a combat medic in the army, rushing into fire to save lives others had already counted as lost. He knew the tremor in the fingers, the glassy eyes, the shallow gasp that came before darkness. He had held brothers in arms as they slipped away, whispering promises he couldn't keep. The war had ended, but the battles never left his heart. His nights were filled with the echo of choppers, the metallic tang of blood, the prayers cut short. When he returned home, he found doors closed, opportunities vanished, and his only refuge was the silent dignity of pushing a broom. Still, he carried himself with quiet honor. Every step, every breath was a vow. A uniform may change, but duty does not. Now, as the CEO slumped against his chair, assistants whispered excuses. He's tired. It's just stress. He'll be fine. Nobody dared admit what was unfolding before their eyes. They feared losing their place more than losing the man's life. Elijah spoke softly but firmly. He needs help, now. The words hung in the air, ignored. The polished shoes, the tailored suits, they brushed past him like he was invisible. The room filled with silence, the kind that accuses and condemns. Everyone saw, yet no one acted. Authority closed its eyes while humanity gasped for air. The CEO's breath faltered again. Elijah dropped his mop, walked forward. A guard blocked his way, dismissing him with a shake of the head. The crowd stared, waiting for permission that never came. But Elijah didn't argue. He didn't shout. He simply knelt beside the man, steady hands lifting his chin, checking his pulse. His movements spoke louder than words. Respect is not asked for, it is earned. The room froze. The CEO's bodyguard reached for his phone to call a doctor, but Elijah's calm voice broke through. If you wait, he won't make it. The silence cracked. Authority yielded to truth. Elijah began chest compressions, his palms pressing down with the strength of every life he had once tried to save. The suits and ties stood paralyzed, while the janitor, the man they overlooked, commanded the moment with nothing but silent dignity. Minutes later, sirens wailed outside. Paramedics rushed in, and to their surprise, found Elijah had already stabilized the man who paid their salaries. As the CEO was lifted onto the stretcher, his hand weakly reached for Elijah's. The crowd of executives, once so dismissive, now stood in hushed respect. For the first time, they saw him, not the janitor, but the hero. And when the CEO returned days later, alive and grateful, it wasn't the doctors he thanked first. It was Elijah, the man with the broom who had seen what others ignored. In front of the entire company, the millionaire CEO bowed his head in respect. Respect does not come from wealth or titles. It comes from courage, from sacrifice, from silent strength. Elijah reminded them all that dignity cannot be taken away by uniforms or forgotten by society. If this story touched you, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us where you're watching from. And at the end, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story.